Coach Mack and the Red Raiders have been preparing for weeks. Hello and welcome. I'm Darby Sells.
And I'm Zach Salzgiver. It's the team's first chance to take the field since last season's 69-20 win over the Mercyhurst Lakers. The Raiders finished off last season 8-3, just missing out on the state game. Ship finished off the season strong, winning 6 of the last 7 games, sparked by the return of Cortland Dell with key wins over PSAC rivals Westchester and Mercyhurst.
Last year's team was loaded with seniors who made a big impact on the Raiders' win streak, and now the Raiders are without longtime starters on both sides of the ball.
The biggest hit was on offense, losing 5 starting skilled position players, including Sheldon Mayer and Andrew Smith. Mayer was named All-American as a returner and finished his Ship career in both top 5 in receptions and receiving yards. He was the clear #1 target for Zapatiki last season. Smith was the Raiders' #1 back last year. His absence will be easier to mask with Justin Pyle returning and Cole Chipielli transferring in from Penn State. Smith's greatest contribution was his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. The team returns 9 out of 11 starters on defense, but the 2 key losses were senior captains Cortland Dell and Kurt Walker. Leave a leadership gap for the Raiders defense. The biggest hole to fill is in the receiving corps, but Mike Brown is doing his best to fill the void.
Got a lot of young guys, but at the same time, Mike Brown's back, who's going to be a senior, who's having a very, very good spring. You talk about a young man who has stepped up and really has embraced the role of being the leader of that group. He's doing a great job. Eric Kearns, who's a transfer, has a ton of ability. He's catching on to our offense, and look for big things out of him.
With the loss of their skilled position players, the Raiders will rely heavily on the right arm of Ryan Zapatiki. Matt Kleindens has more.
The Red Raiders are getting ready for the 2016 football season with big expectations for quarterback Ryan Zapatiki that build on his phenomenal sophomore season.
Well, Zap did a great job. He improved as the year went on. It was his first year of starting, and he stayed relatively healthy last year, which was good. He has progressed well. He has a good command of our offense, and, he makes plays.
Last year's stats agree with Coach Mack. As a first-time starter, Zapatiki threw for 27 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. He had a completion percentage rate of 59.7% and had 2,345 passing yards. But Zapatiki knows one man can't post such success alone.
I mean, I thought I had a decent sophomore season, but a lot of it goes to my teammates, receivers, offensive line, running backs, picking up blocking assignments, blitzes, everything.
Still, there's room for improvements.
I think completion percentage is a big thing. Just knowing when to check the ball down, when to take your shots. That's a big part of the game that goes unlooked.
Coach Mack is having Zapatiki focus on his footwork, having a quicker release, and making good reads, all with the purpose of improving his consistency. For SCTV Sports, I'm Matt Kleindens.
Zapatiki looks to improve on a season where he threw 27 touchdowns for over 2,300 yards.
Not only Zap, but every player on our team has the ability to improve, and Zap has been improving. He's had a great spring practice, and he's at the quarterback position. You're going to continue to get more comfortable, get better as you go, be able to make your reads a little bit quicker, just more time in the driver's seat, and he's doing a great job at it.
When we come back, one Penn State transfer looks to resurrect his football career.
And find out why Coach Mack is so confident in this year's defense.
Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. Nope.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb.
But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
With losses across the board, the offense looks to transition to a power run game behind their veteran offensive line. The Ship offensive line will be vital in the upcoming season, returning starters across the entire front. The Raiders will focus more on the power run game with losses at wide receiver and 2 excellent power backs.
Well, if you think about it, last year, man, I think we were second or third in the conference in rushing the ball. So that's part of what we are. A lot of people think of us as just throwing the ball all the time, but we're a balanced offense. I love to run the ball. I love to be able to dictate the pace of the game to a defense. And, if you can run the ball, you're going to win games.
The Red Raiders hope a switch of jerseys for Cole Chipiele will mean big successes for the team. Karan Kent has more on the story about the Penn State transfer.
It's gone very well. It's a big difference coming from such a big school to, a small Division II school. But, I love it. Biggest difference, is definitely the class sizes. I'm coming from 300 plus kids in my classes, and now I'm down to 20. So that's definitely a big difference. And obviously, football-wise, it's obviously a big change.
Chipiele, who's from Beaver Falls, PA, attended Penn State at the high school for 2 years. During the end of his sophomore campaign at Penn State, Chipiele sustained a serious knee injury, which not only made him miss time at Penn State, but he also sat out last season in Ship because his knee wasn't fully healed.
Sitting out last year was tough. I played football since I was 7 years old. Every fall I played. I never sat out. So this year was definitely tough for me. But, I'm excited. It made me a better person, and I'm excited for the season.
Sometimes turmoil in an athlete life helps greatness prevail.
A tough process, but for me, it was definitely a blessing in disguise. It definitely got me to realize that, football, you're one play away from being done. And, that really what came into my thinking when I wanted to leave Penn State. Because, one play, I could never play it again. So I wanted to come here and, get my full potential out and play football.
I'm Karan Ken with SUTV News Sports.
Chipiele will split carries with Justin Pyle in a revamped backfield that will look to carry the Raiders. Coach Mack believes Chipiele is ready to make major contributions this fall.
This is the first time he's played football in a year, so he's had a very, very good spring, catching on to what we do offensively and our techniques and things like that. He runs the ball very hard. He's gotten better every practice during the spring, and it's really fun to watch. And he can outrun people, and he can run over people. So it's going to be exciting to watch him.
Coming off injury and going into his 3rd season as a starting cornerback, Kevin Taylor has high hopes for what the defense can accomplish. Taylor will join Chad Miller, Chavez Cheatham, and DJ Berkey in a defensive backfield stocked with experience. Taylor predicts the Raiders will have the best defense in the PSAC, and a veteran back end will play a big role.
I think that's important, and in the secondary, you got to make sure that you have trust between each other, that knowing what you're going to do and what you're supposed to do, because if you make a mistake in the secondary, everybody knows you made that mistake. So, those guys gelling well together. They've been together for a while. We got to continue to get better, and I think they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. None of them were selected as all-conference last season, so that's something that I don't let them forget about, and they're working very hard at it.
Big Red is a beloved and iconic member of the Shippensburg community, but not everyone knows the origins of the Raider mascot. Jameson Barker has more.
Big Red has been a staple at Shippensburg University for 10 years now. But how much do you know about our red-feathered friend? For starters, did you know they're not a parrot? No, Red is in fact a red-tailed hawk. Big Red's birth came about after the university decided to lay its Native American mascot to rest in the early 90s.
It was never necessarily even an official mascot or there really has never been an official mascot until Big Red came about. There were just sort of different logos and brands and marks and things that were used from time to time. Certainly, though, the Indian head was one of the more popular ones. But
So after almost a decade had passed, something had to change.
I think it basically had come to the point where Student Senate had identified that we didn't necessarily have a distinguishable mascot.
With the future of our university's face in their hands, the Student Senate began their search. The student body offered their choices, some good, some, well, not so good. So the choice was down to two, Big Red the red-tailed hawk, or Shippo the hippo. The hippo certainly had its novelty and share of support from the student body, but Big Red's potential staying power led the Student Senate to pick it. When Red was revealed to the public, the reactions were mixed.
I remember at first that it didn't necessarily go over well. I think I can remember the students being somewhat disappointed.
Whether or not the hippo rightfully won is unclear, but one thing is for sure. Whether it is pumping up our fans, making a child's day, or just acting plain goofy, Big Red is here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. For SUTV Sports, I'm Jamison Barker.
Make sure you look for Big Red roaming the stands at all home Ship football games.
When we come back, Richard Nace looks to improve on a record-breaking season.
And Zach sits down with Coach Mack.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. Nope.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
The biggest hole in the Raiders' defense is up the middle at linebacker. With the departure of Cortland Dell, the Raiders are searching for a new face to anchor their defense.
Big part of our defense, and an example was when he did play against Westchester. He had probably the biggest play of the game, intercepting that ball in the end zone. So it's not easy to replace Court, but what we got to do is we got to make sure that the guys that are coming up behind him, Alan Holman, who played a lot of Mike linebacker last year when Court was out, he's going to be in the middle, and he's a very good player, has had another good spring. So we got some younger guys who are stepping up. We just got to make sure that we're consistent at the linebacker spot, that we continue to get better every practice.
Holloman was second on the team with 70 tackles last year.
As a freshman, Richard Nace set the single-season record for sacks, including a monster game against Millersville with 3.5 sacks. And the coach says he is only going to get better.
I think he's already improved his game just from this spring. I'm going to tell you, he's had a tremendous spring. And if you talk about a young man who goes hard every play, you watch Richard Nace. That's what he does. That's his motor. That's what he. The thing that he can get better at, of course, is just the fine details of the position as far as the technique and things like that. Learning it a little better, making sure he takes care of his responsibilities. But he's got a motor, and when you find young men who have a motor every play, they're going to be successful.
This game is an important stepping stone going into the season, an opportunity to evaluate the roster. It's also an important time to have fun.
Into the spring game, you ask them what they want to see they just want no injuries for the most part. Come out healthy, see what your guys can do. What do you want to see in the spring game?
I want to see them compete. I want to see them have fun. We've worked very hard this spring, and they've done a tremendous job of getting better and just doing what they're supposed to do. And Saturday's their payday. It's spring game. Go out there and compete, have fun, and enjoy the experience. That's why we try to make it as game day atmosphere as we can.
You spent a lot of time around this team leading up to this game. What's the mood surrounding the team?
They're confident. They have a swagger to them. They think that they're the best team in the PSAC. They think that they're, with their schedule so far, they think they're going to be able to just run through this conference. And they have a really good team coming back. I think the biggest thing is they're kind of on a mission. With that loss last year to Kutztown, they believe they should have been in that state game. So they really want to, get after it this year.
This offense has to replace a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. What do you expect from this year?
Well, yeah, there's a big hole that Sheldon Mayer left behind. He was their best receiver, one of the best receivers in Shippensburg history. But Ryan Zapaticki and his progression from last year is really going to help fill that void. I mean, the kid threw for 27 touchdowns and over 2,300 yards in his first season as a starter. Only look for him to improve on those numbers. And as far as wide receivers go, they have a lot of depth at that position behind Sheldon Mayer last year. And I think Mike Brown's going to be the guy that's going to come in and really fill that void. At 6'3", he's fast. He can really get down the field and push corners. I think that he's going to be able to fill that void, and this offense is going to be just fine, especially with a great running game.
The defense returns 9 out of the 11 starters. What is this defense's ceiling?
This defense can easily be the best in the PSAC. They return so many guys, especially on the back end. They return all 4 defensive backs. Their whole entire defensive line, other than Kurt Walker and Cortland Dell, everybody's back. Cortland Dell is going to be the big one to watch for me anyways, because he was such an important part of their defense last year. And when he came back against Westchester, they were able, they just took off and were creating turnovers at a higher rate. But if Holloman can come in and fill in for him, this defense, sky's the limits, and they're going to dominate teams this year.
How far can this team go this year?
This team, I think they can win every game on their schedule, realistically, and, make it all the way. I think this is, make it to the actual Division II playoffs. Sky's the limits for this team.
That's it for us in Grove Hall. Let's send it now to a Student Association field at Seth Grove Stadium. I'm Darby Sells.
And I'm Zach Salzgiver. Enjoy the game.
Well, thank you, Darby. Spring is in the air, and so is football. Welcome to Seth Grove Stadium. Alongside my partner, Colby Conway, I'm Jamison Barker. Great football game about to get underway here as the band plays the alma mater.
Yeah, beautiful day here in Shippensburg, 65 degrees, and we seem like we have busted through the cold that we've had recently here in central Pennsylvania. Once again, it's a great weekend here in Shippensburg. There's alumni in the stand, recruits in the stand, statewide weekend. There was an open house, and there's a lot of key position battles on the field.
Yes, they certainly do their best to mimic the pageantry of a fall Saturday game here. Plenty of stuff, and as you mentioned, plenty of position battles on the field. Spring is a time for new starts, fresh starts, and clean slates. So why don't we talk about some of those position battles, Colby?
Yeah, one of the big ones is most notably wide receiver. They lost Sheldon Mayer, Karan Kent, and definitely some guys looking to replace it, most notably Jordan Harrow, transfer Eric Kearns, and Mike Brown.
And, of course, that's going to be very big in the mind of Ryan Zapaticki, who put up some great numbers last year, a little bit of competition coming in from the recruiting standpoint. But also, big recruits coming in, transfers in the position of running back, rather.
Yeah, one of the big ones is Cole Chipielli. He transferred in from Penn State, where he played 2 years. He medical redshirted last year with a torn ACL, but expect to see a lot of him early and often in this spring game today.
Yeah, we expect him to get the ball a lot. Okay, so on the defensive side of the ball, defensive line returns a lot. Linebackers, plenty of depth. Why don't you talk about some of the guys we lost and some of the guys we have returning this year?
Well, I know a couple of the big names, definitely returners, Richard Nace and Kevin Goldsmith combined for, I believe it was 17 sacks last season. Especially in this PSAC, they're going to wreak havoc on the defensive line for Shippensburg.
Yes, it certainly is a lot to see here today. Got some different rules for today's game. It is an exhibition. For starters, the red team will be the first team defense and second team offense, while the white team will be the first team offense and second team defense. Some players will rotate between the teams. They will be wearing blue or black jerseys. Their numbers will pretty much stay the same, though. Playing rules feature some adjustments. There will be no kickoffs in today's game aside from the beginning of the game. The ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. They're trying to avoid as many injuries as possible here today. quarterbacks will not be considered live. They will be wearing yellow jerseys out there, and they will be untouchable. The game will have a normal clock for the start, or the first half, and then in the second half, it will be a running clock with 15-minute quarters. Right now, we got the coin flip going on at center. And it appears the white team has elected to receive. That will be the starting offense getting the ball first.
Yeah, we'll get to see Ryan Zapaticki in action right here, right away. Expect to see Cole Chipielli get the ball, and especially if we see some passing downs, we'll see what Mike Brown, Jordan Harrow, and transfer Eric Kearns can do here in the early going on the first drive of the spring game.
I got to say, that is what I am most excited to see here today, because when you look at the roster, a lot of the key players were lost on offense.
Yeah, there's definitely, like we mentioned, there's a couple guys that need to be replaced. Another guy we won't get to see today is running back Justin Pyle. He's nursing a shoulder injury. So like we said before, Cole Chipielli is going to get a lot of work early. And then, when the season comes around, we'll get to see Justin Pyle in action.
So today, Coach Mack will be at the helm. Coach Mack, 39 wins in his 5 seasons here at Shippensburg.
Yeah, he's definitely done very well here in his tenure. And it's also important to know that no Shippensburg coach has had more wins than Coach Mack in their first 5 seasons at the helm.
Also notable is Shippensburg's 12 consecutive home wins. Not so lucky on the road, though, last year.
No, they had 8-3 record overall, but away from Seth Grove Stadium here, they were actually 3-2. So Coach Mack would definitely like to see them improve on the road this season.
Well, the white team is lining up to kick off. That will be Billy Dean lining up, making sure his players are ready. And we are underway here at Seth Grove Stadium. Ball is caught on the fly and being returned. That is taken to about the 17-yard line before that is blown dead.
Right there, you could see some of the modified game rules. Didn't actually get taken to the ground, just quick touch, and they're going to get the offense the ball right around the 17-yard line.
Yeah, the punts will also be half speed like that. I remember called those a thud on Thursday practices. There will be a thud, but no tackles to the ground, Colby.
Yeah, got to keep the guys healthy for the season. Spring game's important. Get a first look at them. But ultimately, you want these guys healthy come season time because those games in the fall are the most important.
With that, the white team is ready to get started. They like to run that up-tempo, and they will get underway. Zapaticki swings it out to the right side for a gain of about 3.
Quick little screen pass. We saw that a lot from Zapaticki last year, but the good thing is that limits the turnovers. 27 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions last year for the quarterback.
So both of us, alumnus of Palmyra High School, that was a Palmyra alum as well, Jordan Harrow on the first catch of the day. Now lining up on the opposite field, motion in the backfield. Zapaticki calling the shots. Audibling up a little bit. Plenty of time on the clock. And he takes a snap. He drops back. He will air it out. And he will find. That will be a gain of about 50.
Yeah, it looked about 50 yards. Zapaticki with a beautiful ball. Beautiful ball to wide receiver Mike Brown. You said a 50-yard gain. It was also important to know on that play, Chipielli was actually lined up in the slot, came out of the backfield, so we can expect a lot of him both from the backfield and in the slot.
The starting offense hurrying up here. Zapaticki off the snap will hand it off.
Little quarterback read there, fake it to Chipielli. Zapaticki runs right, couple-yard gain. Once again, modified rules. Not going to take down Zapaticki today.
Yep, Zapaticki electing to hold that one. Even fooled me on that one. I thought he elected to hand it off. Some of that read option that Shippensburg so often likes to run.
Yeah, that really helped him last year add up the yards on the ground.
Zapaticki under center now out of the I formation. They will hand it off up the middle. That will be about a gain of 3.
First action for Chipielli there, handoff up the middle. Nice little 2-3 yard gain, but we saw a nice stop by the front 7 of the Shippensburg defense.
In that front 7, as we talked about in the beginning, lots of depth, lots of returning names.
Yeah, 2 big ones, like we said, Richard Nace and Kevin Goldsmith, 2 big guys up front, combined for 17.5 sacks last year and 27.5 tackles for loss.
Zapaticki out of the shotgun elects to scramble with it, and there is a flag on the play. We await the call on the field here. It looks like it will be against the offense. Rather, it will be no flag. The refs electing to pick that one up, and we will get some substitutions. As you see there, we have a red player. That is Shea O'Donnell. Playing both ways, he will be on the special teams as Billy Dean lines up for his first attempt of the year. This will be about a 47-yarder, and that one looked to be deflected. That is the signal we are receiving from the referee, and that will be no good. So the second team offense getting their first shot here on the day.
Yeah, Billy Dean's missed that field goal. He was 13 of 20 for field goals on last year. Would like to see that percentage increase just a little bit this season. Really help the Shippensburg team out in some of those close games.
Yes, Billy Dean also, what flew a little more under the radar was the fact that he is a place kicker and punter for Shippensburg. A lot of key punts in some late game situations last year for the dual threat.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a guy that can kick and punt for you, kind of kill two birds with one stone, get a guy that does it both. Also today, expect to see Jordan Harrow on some punts. He's a receiver, but he's going to get some action punting today.
Jordan Harrow will receive plenty of shout-outs as the ball is snapped. That will be a run to the left hash. Pickup of about 2.
Like to see a little more yardage on first down, but here in the spring game, got to knock the rust off. Guys haven't actually played in the game for quite some time now.
It's very important to get that first hit out of the way, get those butterflies out of your system. This is a handoff now. A gain of about 4.
Yeah, quarterback Landon Arcangelo decided to hand it off there to the running back. Nice play, defense really collapsed up. Got a couple more yards. Big third down here for the red team.
Landon Arcangelo looking to push Ryan Zapaticki here. Show off what he's got. He lines up in the shotgun, and he will swing that one out to the right side, but that ball is mishandled. And that will be ruled incomplete. So it is a quick 3 and out. So there's another flag on the field. We await that call. So Colby, as the fans file in more and more, we talked a lot about today in the pageantry. A lot of alumni showing out. The Shippensburg band in action.
Yeah, there's also some recruits here in the stand that might be playing some of their college football here, hopefully here at Shippensburg next season. Maybe make an impact right away and help a very successful program.
Very successful program indeed. A program that controlled its destiny headed into the last week of last year's season. They had control of the PSAC East, and with a win in Kutztown, would have locked that up, but unable to.
4th down.
The penalty on the field is declined. Did not get what that call was, but nonetheless, it is declined. So here we go with our modified punt rules, similar to the kickoff. There will be no action taking to another player to the ground. Line up for the punt here, and that is a nice punt to about the 28-yard line. That is a fair catch there.
And there we saw our first action of Jordan Harrow, not as a receiver, but as a punter. Could get some work if Billy Dean were to either struggle or go down with an injury. So that was an encouraging first punt of the spring for Jordan Harrow.
Jordan Harrow did a little bit of that in high school as well, so no stranger to special teams. It's a white team, first team offense. Jotting back out on the field. Zapaticki with his second series of the game. Looking to punch some points on the board for the Raiders. There's a snap, and that is handed off. Tackled out of bounds. That is Cole Chipielli. No gain there.
There's yet another read option right there from Zapaticki and Chipielli. Something the Red Raider faithful should get used to seeing a lot of in 2016.
Yep, Chipielli noted for his time at Penn State as Zapaticki takes the ball, swings it out to Chipielli, and it is a fake. That is a flea flicker, and it is complete to the opposing 41-yard line. So some trickery out of the first-team offense in the second series of the game.
Well, fresh off a torn ACL, Chipielli showed not only can he catch the ball, not only can he run the ball, but the man can throw the ball. Definitely an addition to the playbook. Might even see that again here in the coming weeks when the Ship opens their season.
So ball at the 45-yard line. The white team already set up and ready to run another play. There is motion in the backfield. Zapatiki not liking what he's seeing, changing things up a little bit. Shouting plays out to his team. Motions Chipielli out into the slot there. Zapatiki takes the snap, finds Chipielli across the middle on a crossing route, and he is down to the 30. So 2 back-to-back big plays for the white team.
There's another instance of Chipielli moving in the slot, and that's something we're going to see a lot of this season. He's in the backfield. We saw him run. We saw him catch. We saw him even throw the ball in the slot. Now he shows as a viable pass catcher, gives Zapatiki yet another weapon on offense.
Zapatiki with help to his right finds another crossing route. That is Mike Brown across the middle.
Brown is one of those guys competing for one of the starting spots out wide. Likely will get the start, but Sheldon Mayer left some big shoes for Brown and the other receivers to fill in 2016.
As you can see, not only does the football team have some rust to knock off, but we do up here as well. Me and Colby getting our first game called together, so a lot of fun stuff. The handoff goes to Chipielli. He is up the middle with a lot of field in front of him, and he will score. Untouched is Chipielli into the end zone.
For the Red Raider faithful, that's an encouraging sign. Chipielli busted right through the middle, broke through the heart of the defense, scampered in the end zone. Great run by Chipielli for his first touchdown as a Red Raider.
Chipielli didn't even think twice there. He knew where he was going with that, and he hit that hole and hit it hard.
They're going to run the ball a lot in 2016. Zapatiki sure is a viable thrower, or a viable passer, I should say, but as long as Chipielli is running the ball, that's only going to help Zapatiki more through the air.
Billy Dean lining up for his first extra point of the game, and that is good. So Billy Dean, the team's leading scorer last year, getting his first point of the year, and with that, we will now pitch it down to the other member of our crew, Hayden Kephart. What do you got for us, Hayden?
Thanks, guys. It's a great day for the football. I mean, we got the baseball game next door here at Seth Grove Stadium. It's cool on here, but it feels.
Well, thank you for that, Hayden. We are back here in the booth as we get set to see the second team offense for the second time today. Trotting out on the field, led by Arcangelo, is the red team. We also would like to apologize for those technical difficulties. We could not get Hayden through to you. But nonetheless, I'm sure he had some great stuff for us. So under center is Arcangelo. He hands the ball off up the middle for a gain of 3.
Nice run there by the red team running back. Not sure, number 45. London Whitfield with the run there. He's another running back going to look to step in and replace Andrew Smith, who graduated. You know, Chipielli and Justin Pye are going to get a lot of the headlines out of the backfield. But Whitfield has an encouraging future here at Ship and could see some time in 2016.
Arcangelo talking to Whitfield beside him. Decides to switch him over to his left side. Their snap is taken, and that is fired over the middle, but it will go no further. That is about a gain of 15, down to the 42.
Yeah, the southpaw with a nice little throw there across the middle to a sliding Khalid Coleman, a tight end for Shippensburg. Nice throw from Arcangelo's first. I believe that's his first completion on the day, and that's a nice little completion down the field for a first down.
Do apologize. That is Brandon Simmons now in for Arcangelo, and that will be a timeout by the red team. So first timeout of the year. How about let's talk about a little bit about some of these backups and what they mean to this team going forward in this next year.
I think just on that play alone, we saw a nice little piece from Khalid Coleman, nice little sliding catch across the middle. Could be a viable pass-catching tight end for the team in 2016. Definitely a guy to keep in mind.
And as you know, Colby, football is a game of next man up. You never know when one of these guys might be plugged into the starting lineup next year.
Yeah, I know we were talking before the show. Zapatiki has dealt with some minor arm discomfort here in the offseason. He played through it last year, didn't really miss a beat, but just in case, guys like Landon Arcangelo, Brandon Simmons, Chase Yoakum got to be ready to step in. Like you said, it's that whole next man up philosophy.
Simmons takes a snap. That is a handoff to Whitfield. Whitfield breaks a couple tackles before finally being brought down at the 45-yard line. That is a gain of 3.
Yeah, Whitfield looked nice on that, breaking 2 tackles, one with a juke and one with a nice spin out to bust it out wide. Couldn't break that other one to get a couple more yards, but a good run by the young running back.
Yes, and Whitfield certainly getting his share of reps with the injury to Justin Pyle as Simmons takes the snap. That is a handoff, and they will swing it out to the left side. Ball is fumbled on the ground. The ball is on the ground, and it will be recovered by the white team. So the white team with the first turnover, creating their first turnover on the day. Just talked about Whitfield, London Whitfield, and his impact, and as soon as they go away from him, the ball is put on the ground.
Yeah, the offense is going to have to keep possession of the ball, but it's encouraging for the defense.
As we got a replay queued up for you here. So we see Brandon Simmons getting ready to take that snap as some deliberation goes on behind us. Appears the ball will stay with the white team. Ball is handed off and swung out to the left side. And that does look like a clean fumble to me, Colby.
Yeah, going to have to hold the ball a little higher and tighter just to prevent those fumbles so the offense can stay on the field.
So Chipielli out to the left side there. And that was a designed quarterback run. It looked like that was Andrew McLennan. Or was that Chase Yoakum? Sorry.
That was Chase Yoakum, the likely backup to Ryan Zapaticki to open up 2016. Nice little quarterback draw. Wears number 15, just like Tim Tebow used to in his Florida days.
Yeah, we know you are a giant Tebow fan, Colby.
That quarterback draw was what he ran. That looked nice from Yoakum there.
So Yoakum swinging it out to the left side. That is McDermott, Colin McDermott. Wrapped up for a loss of 3.
Just as much as the team's going to run those little quarterback draws, expect a lot of screen passes with some of these dynamic playmakers the Shippensburg offense has to offer.
Yep, and screen passes becoming more and more just like run game. The call on the field is a hold, and that will be accepted. That will march the white team back to their own 49-yard line.
And Yoakum's still out there. It looks like Coach Mack's going to give the backup quarterback this drive all to himself to see if he can put the team in the end zone for a second time.
8:10 remaining in the first quarter. As we have gotten our fair share of quarterback changes so far. Yoakum in the backfield with help to his right and left. That is handed off up the middle. McDermott lowers his shoulder, gets up to about the 50-yard line.
Yoakum to McDermott, something we're seeing pretty often on this drive. Looks like the two have a nice little repertoire, and the offensive play calls have definitely been designed for these two here in this drive.
So a 3rd and long means none other than passing down. We'll see what Shippensburg elects to do here. Yoakum in the shotgun. With the hard count, fools the members of the defense a little bit. Elects to audible. Takes the snap. That is Yoakum. Yoakum surveying, pressure in his face. Decides to run with it. And he gets about a gain of 6. But that will not be enough. That will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, even though they didn't get a first down there, it was definitely encouraging to see Yoakum, get out of the pocket, show off his mobility, and really avoid the sack.
And the white team here may elect to go for it. They figure springtime. Why the heck not? So Yoakum, the hard count again, does not fool anybody this time. They look to the sideline. McDermott now lined up to the left of Yoakum here. Yoakum takes the snap, he drops back, he surveys the field, steps up in the pocket, rolls out, and he is running it. He has the first down and more. That is a 10-yard gain from Yoakum as he heads out of bounds.
Once again, there's Yoakum's mobility on full display. Busted out of the pocket, broke it out wide, give the white team a first down and to continue the drive.
Yoakum certainly showing off those legs, very reminiscent of Tim Tebow. Motion in the backfield. That is Gullius. That is a fake handoff play action. That will be a check down to McDermott. And McDermott will gain 4 on the play.
Once again, Yoakum to McDermott, little crossing route right across the middle out of the backfield, couple yard gain for the white team.
Those kind of plays so underrated on first down. Get yourself in position for not only second and manageable, but third and manageable. That is Yoakum on the snap. That is a design quarterback run. He will take that one up to the 22 and will be right down around the first down marker.
Yoakum continues to use his legs on this drive, which is a good sight to see because Zapaticki is a very mobile quarterback as well. So if Zapaticki were to go down, the Shippensburg offense shouldn't miss a beat with Yoakum coming in off the bench.
And that just opens so many options for this Shippensburg team, and that read option game, and now with the added dimension of Chipielli in the backfield. Yoakum takes the snap. He will hand off to McDermott, who gains about 3 on the play.
McDermott with the carry.
And it appears McDermott may have put the ball on the ground, and the red team is saying they recovered. And the ref gives the signal. It is with the red team. So another turnover.
Yeah, I'm sure at halftime, Coach Mack's going to address these running backs, hold the ball higher and tighter. Especially look at that drive. Nice drive by the white team to get down inside, just outside the 20-yard line to put the ball on the ground and turn it over. Something that it just can't happen in the PSAC conference.
Yep, those mistakes will come back to haunt you. Obviously, we were just in an exhibition today, but you expect that sort of rust, but you don't want to see that come time for the season.
Yeah, the rust is understandable, but even so, you got a fall-type atmosphere here with this game, and the last thing you want to do is put the ball on the ground, especially when you're competing, trying to earn some playing time come fall.
So in the backfield is the red team. That is a design quarterback run. He will take off and be brought down about a yard in the backfield, or rather no gain on that play.
There was Landon Arcangelo on that run. Something we're seeing here in the early going. A lot of quarterback runs. Their offense is going to roll with this.
4:39 remaining here at Seth Groves Stadium. Arcangelo lines up under center. He will take the snap, and it will be a handoff. Williams lowers his shoulder, but also stuffed at the line.
I believe he was the one who had the first fumble of the game, so it was nice to see him protect that ball with 2 hands high and tight as he went through the cluttered front of the Shippensburg, the white team front 7.
Certainly protected it, but looked like he was tentative in hitting that hole. Don't want to sacrifice any of that as we move forward. Arcangelo off the snap, fakes the handoff, surveys downfield, finds his man, but that is covered well. That is Juan Balding Jr. at the defensive back position. A lot of new names to learn here today, Colby.
Yeah, there's a lot of new ones, but pretty soon they'll become household. If they keep making plays like that in the secondary, a tough secondary with a fierce front 7 for the Shippensburg defense is going to give a lot of opponents a lot of trouble come season.
So it looks like Harrow lining up to punt this one away. Jordan Harrow certainly seeing a lot of action at the punting position today.
Yeah, he's going to be a dual threat kind of guy this season, catching passes from quarterback Ryan Zapaticki and also handling some punting duties.
Yep, there's no better dual threat to have. They don't call them special teams for no reason, Colby.
That's right. Wide receiver, punter, dangerous combo.
So the punt is away, got a nice bit under it that will be caught at about their 49-yard line of the red team.
Another nice punt by Jordan Harrow. We'll have to see if Billy Dean gets any punting action today to see what kind of charge he can put into the football with that leg of his.
Yep, Travis Cheatham on that reception. So the white team trots back out in the field, see if they can recover from that last fumble.
And it looks like Ryan Zapaticki's back at the helm for his 3rd drive. Chase Yoakum handled the last one. Zapaticki will start this one at the opponent's 49.
Zapaticki's got Chipielli to his right. As he takes the snap, handoff to, no, that is a read option. That will be Zapaticki electing to run that one up the middle. Takes it to about the 40-yard line before that is blown dead. Chipielli untouchable out there.
Yeah, he's a versatile running back, and as long as there's at least a threat of him getting the ball, that's going to open up some lanes for Zapaticki. As you saw right there, the whole defense collapsed to Chipielli on that read option out wide, and Zapaticki just took it right up the middle for a nice gain.
Yeah, I anticipate we will see a lot of that read option moving forward. Zapaticki under center. Motions his man out to the left side. Zapatiki on his drop finds his target, and it is complete. That is Ty Rugg on the reception. 3 defenders around him, but still pulling it down to the 30-yard line.
Beautiful throw by Zapatiki. Really threaded the needle on that one. That's encouraging to see from the Shippensburg starting quarterback.
White team hurrying their stuff up. 2 men to Zapatiki's left. Zapatiki will motion Rugg out to the right. Zapatiki takes the snap, finds his man in the flats, but he cannot reel it in.
Taylor Pressel dropped that pass right there. Nice ball from Zapatiki. He had some space up ahead of him. Must have been looking to what was ahead of him before securing the ball.
Yes, he knew there was a defender coming in hot. Maybe that's what got in his head, but nonetheless, maybe it was the sun. You never know, those guys struggling down there. You know, they're knocking the rust off, so. I mean, I'm sure we can't do any better up here. Zapatiki takes the snap, fires it out to the right side, but it is short. Intended receiver on that one was Mike Brown.
After Zapatiki threaded the needle on the last ball to the tight end, just missed Mike Brown just a bit short on a, looked like what to be a little, like a flag route. Just missed him there. Looked to bounce back here on 3rd down.
So some of that chemistry that wide receiver and quarterback look to build, still necessary as we move forward.
It's early, still plenty of time till the season, but you want to see him hook up here a bit more.
Zapatiki all alone in the backfield, motions Chipielli to his left side, and the handoff will go to Chipielli. Chipielli up the middle, shakes off 1 defender, and he is down to the 23. So that is a 6-yard gain on Chipielli's run there.
Red Faithful should be excited to see, especially with the success of this read option early on. You got to think from the defensive standpoint, who are you going to stop? Are you going to stop Zapatiki, or are you going to try to stop Chipielli? A lot of decisions have to be made by the front 7 for opposing defenses.
Billy Dean lining up for his 2nd attempt of the day. The first one was tipped, as we remember. Here's the snap. Billy Dean, it is up, it looks long enough, and it is good. So, 2nd points of the day for the white team. Billy Dean getting his first made kick of the year.
Like you said, for the position players, it's important to get that first hit out of the way. It's always good for your kicker to get that first field goal out of the way. Nice kick there by Billy Dean, especially after that first one was tipped. Nice bounce back kick.
Yeah, Billy Dean did a great job last year as a freshman, has more experience under his belt, and will certainly be looked to in a lot of crucial situations this year, whether it's punting or kicking.
Like we said, he went 13 from 20 on field goals last year. I expect that number to increase this season. Got some extra confidence. That freshman tag is off him. The sophomore kicker looks to have a nice kicking campaign here.
So the red team comes trotting back out on the field now. Big boys up front get set. And right now, these jerseys are so tough to read, but that is McLennan on the handoff. McLennan now at the helm for the Raiders red team, and that is Simmons on the carry for a gain of 3.
Nice little run there, but nice stop by the front 7 of the white team. So you want to see penetrate the hole, stop the running back for a short gain.
So Simmons gets set to take another snap. Motion in the backfield. Simmons drops back, rolls out to his left, and that is dropped in the flats. On the drop there is London Whitfield.
Nice little play action there. And Simmons showed nice ability to scramble away, hit Whitfield, coming out of the backfield, wasn't able to secure it. Might have been hearing footsteps coming.
Yes, these Red Raiders, for some reason or another, these flats passes have been giving them trouble. Simmons with running back to his left and right. Takes the snap, low snap, but he corrals it. Simmons looking, surveying, can't find anything, and he is wrapped up. That is number 93, Matt Witt, coming in to clean that one up.
Yeah, Matt Witt did a nice job penetrate the hole, and that's just something you want to see. Guy competing for playing time, get his first sack of the spring, and that should bode well for him moving forward.
Simmons back there desperately trying to find somewhere to pass, but unable to do so. And Jordan Harrow, once again, getting some action, coming in to punt this one away.
The dual threat wide receiver punter.
Snap is away, and the punt is as well. That one will get down to about, and it is muffed. It is a muffed fumble, or a muffed punt rather. A muffed fumble, that's a little redundant.
The fumble on the play.
So the ball will be recovered at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, it's just the spring, but just something on punts, even they're not live. There's not the real added pressure of getting drilled when you're back there. You want to see him secure that ball.
So we got a replay of this fumble here. This punt is away. And just unable to corral that one is the red team.
And that was number 39, Eric Jenszewski with the recovery. Nice to see him pounce on that loose ball.
Jenszewski. Terror on the field and also up here in the booth as we try and pronounce that last name. There's Zapaticki on the handoff to McDermott. McDermott, a nice gain on first down there. That's about 5 yards down to the 44.
We saw McDermott working with Yoakum in the early drives, but it looks like Chipielli's going to get a little break on the sideline, and McDermott's going to get some work with quarterback Ryan Zapaticki.
Zapaticki in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking for his options. Finds McDermott across the middle. And that is no gain as time continues to run down in the first quarter. 23 seconds left remaining.
There's another instance where Zapaticki's hitting a running back coming out of the backfield. Something we're going to see a lot this year, whether it's McDermott or Chipielli coming out of the Shippensburg backfield.
So the white team will elect to let time run down, let this quarter expire. So we are currently 1 quarter in to this spring football game, and with that,
is the end of the first quarter. Team White leads 10-0.
Get ready to pitch it to the other member of our sideline team, Matt Kleindice. What do you got for us down there, Matt?
Guys, through this entire spring game, you're going to see a lot of rotation of backup players trying to make their impact to get into the starting role for the fall. But through the entire first quarter, there's one guy who's made a significant impact for the white team, and that is number 33, Cole Chipielli, a running back who is a transfer from Penn State. There's a lot of hype surrounding him, and is hoping to make a big impact on the running game next fall. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. Matt doing a great job as always. Matt Kleindice digging up the scoops for us down there on the sidelines. So what impressed you most about that first quarter, Colby?
What impressed me was the use of the running backs, not only via the ground, but through the air. All the quarterbacks, Arcangelo, Zapaticki, Yoakum, they're all hitting the running backs coming out of the backfield. The only thing I want to see in this second quarter, I want to see more use of the wide receivers. We're talking about how to replace guys like Sheldon Mayer and Karan Kent. Haven't really seen all too much to the receivers other than a couple catches here and there. I'd like to see Zapaticki and the other quarterback crew throw to some of these wide receivers and see what we have out wide for 2016.
Zapaticki all ready to take that snap. He is all alone in the backfield, and that is deflected. That is number 47, Dakota Thompson. D lineman dropping back into coverage there, and that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Thompson played in 10 games last season, recorded 3.5 tackles for loss and even half a sack. So he's no stranger to producing in big-time situations.
We talked about that running game with Shippensburg, and that certainly opens up so many more options for them, not only in the read option, but from passing as well.
Yeah, we saw on the last drive with the red team, little play action created some space out wide for a running back on a little pass, but he was unable to bring it in. But the play action is going to be opened up thanks to a successful ground game.
So that is, I believe, Billy Dean lining up to punt this one away. Snap is away, and so is the punt. That is a good punt. That will land down inside the 1 and will go into the end zone for a touchback. So a good first punt there from Billy Dean.
Yeah, put it in a nice spot just inside the 5-yard line. Was unfortunate to not get quite a lucky roll as the ball traveled into the end zone after that bounce at the 1-yard line. But nice first punt from Billy Dean.
Just a little more hang time on that one, and that could have been very well down inside the 10-yard line.
With the front 7, Shippensburg has to boast. You pin guys inside that 10-yard line, they're going to wreak some havoc down there. A couple safeties, get some turnovers down in the short parts of the field.
Red team trots themselves back out. And they will start at the 20. The snap is away, and the ball is handed off and wrapped up in the backfield. That is number 63 on the tackle. That is John Durkin. Durkin busting through, wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Durkin only appeared in 4 games last season, but 2.5 tackles for loss and 1.5 sacks in a limited role. Hard to think this guy doesn't get a bigger role in 2016 and improve on those numbers.
Certainly should be the case. Arcangelo lined up with help to his left, fakes the handoff, and he looks for his options. Pressure in his face, he fires it away, but it falls incomplete.
Well, there's a play action pass we talked about, off like a read option. That play action really opened some space for the running back there. Unable to bring it in, but encouraging to see that the running game has opened up some space for play action passes by the Shippensburg quarterbacks.
The white team certainly doing a better job of executing on that ground game. But here is Arcangelo again. Takes the snap, fires out to the flats there, and that is caught by number 84. That is number 84, Dylan Smith Brooks. First catch of the day, but that will be a 3 and out for the red team. They only gained 3 on that possession.
Smith Brooks could be a factor in the wide receiving crew that lost a couple big names from last year. But there was a first pass to a receiver for the red team. So we'll have to see if they continue to look to the receivers or if they continue little read options and dink and dunk it to the running backs.
Jordan Harrow back to punt for the red team. No contact there on the front line. The punt is away. That one gets out, bounces at the 50. And that will take a nice red team bounce down to the 38.
Yeah, we got a nice bounce there from Harrow, added a couple yards. When Billy Dean had that punt, you'd like to see him, get a little backwards roll on that. But nice punt by Jordan Harrow.
So with 13:21 remaining in the first half, the white team will come back out and see if they can punch some more points on the board. I would like to imagine this is probably the last time we will see Zapatiki today, or one of the last times rather.
And if so, definitely had a great first start here in the spring game. Also very impressed by Chippy Elliott at this point. We'll see if Zapatiki's out there.
Does not appear so, no longer in the yellow jersey. Zapatiki is posted up on the sidelines. So it will be Yoakum motioning his man out to his left side. He takes the snap and he finds Harrow across the middle. Passed a little bit behind Jordan Harrow. He was unable to bring that one in.
Yeah, Yoakum missed Harrow a little bit on a quick slant route. Throw it a little bit behind him on his back shoulder. Tough catch for Harrow. You'd like to see him bring that in. Hopefully if they go to that route again, Yoakum can deliver a little better ball.
And hopefully nobody accuses us of, favoritism here. And Yoakum looking to shake that one off, lines up, takes the snap, and he will run it on a quarterback draw. That will be stuffed just about instantly, right at the line of scrimmage. So that brings up a 3rd and long.
It's like you talked about earlier. You want to gain a couple positive yards on first down to make those 2nd and 3rd downs more manageable. That incomplete pass took him out about 4 or 5 yards. So now instead of say a 2nd and or a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, team is looking at a 3rd and 10.
So it will be an empty backfield as 33 Cole Chipielli is in motion. Chipielli lined up to the right of Yoakum. Yoakum looks for Chipielli, decides to run it, and he will be close to the first down, but just about a yard short.
Here early on in the 2nd quarter here, Yoakum's mobility has been on full display here. We're seeing him evade the pass rush, gain a couple meaningful yards, put the team in a better situation. 4th and 1 is much more manageable than, you get sacked and you're looking at a 4th and 14 where Billy Dean or Jordan Harrow comes out for a punt. See if they can get this 4th down. I believe it'd be their first conversion of the day on 4th down.
And as you know, in the spring game, much less at stake, so they will elect to go for it. That is Yoakum under center. He hands the ball off to Chipielli, but there is a pack of Raiders in his face, and he is stuffed 3 yards in the backfield.
Yeah, didn't get much offense, didn't complete that 4th down conversion. Great showing by the front 7 of the Shippensburg defense. Get up there, put some pressure on, force Chipielli to the sideline where they ultimately wrapped him up short of that 1st down.
So a good effort from the red team, or the white team rather, unable to convert. 11:55 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. White team will trot themselves back out on defense, as will red team deliberate on the sidelines. So, Colby, what would you like to see change from this Raiders team?
I'll just see a couple more passes to the wideouts, like I said earlier. You know, you got guys like Mike Brown and the transfer Eric Kearns. Haven't really heard much from those guys yet. Would like to see Zapaticki get out there to work with his starting crew of receivers. But, you know, it's a spring game. They're probably working on it in practice, but something you want to see in a game action.
So Simmons takes the handoff, elects to run it.
With the carry.
Good step up in the pocket there. He will be taken down after about 3 yards.
Yeah, Dennis Robinson on the tackle there. Looks to be an impact player in the Shippensburg secondary. Nice tackle there to bring down the quarterback.
Plenty of pressure in the face of the red team quarterback so far today. That has been mostly Arcangelo and Simmons. Arcangelo currently, he will hand that off to number 45, London Whitfield, who was taken down after about 4 yards.
Whitfield fumbled earlier in the game, but you could see that time much more aggressive with the football. You know, he still kept it high and tight to secure it, but he wasn't as tentative as he was the last time he carried it. We saw him, you know, 2 hands high and tight, kind of just shuffle through the line, but that time showed some nice explosion through the hole.
Definitely don't want to sacrifice that aggression. Got to get those mistakes and put them out of your mind. And Arcangelo will take the snap. It is handed off to Whitfield again. He will swing it out right, and he will only gain about 1 on that play. It is now 4th down.
Another tackle by Dennis Robinson. You know, the first time he tackled the quarterback on a short run, but that time showed a great open field tackle. Whitfield could have scampered for a decent amount of yards there, but Robinson wrapped him up. Looks to have a nice 2016 campaign in the Shippensburg secondary.
Would have liked to see Whitfield display some of his vision there and cut that one up inside. Certainly had a hole there, but elected to swing it out wide. The Arcangelo on the snap, the handoff is to Whitfield again. Whitfield bumps out to the left, and he will get enough for the first down, a gain of 3.
Whitfield must be listening to the game because you just said you'd like to see him get out wide, show that vision, show some nice vision there, getting to the outside. 3 or 4 yards, get his team a first down to continue the drive.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Whitfield making the necessary adjustments there. Great job to shirk off that first tackle. Arcangelo and Whitfield are in the backfield. Arcangelo on the snap, looks out to the side, and he fires it in between 2 defenders, and the referee signals incomplete.
Arcangelo showed some nice confidence there, putting that ball in a tight window. Pass wasn't caught, but still nice to see the aggressiveness by Arcangelo to try to really fit that ball in a tight kneel, get their team some positive yards on first down.
Kyle Schaefer doing everything he can to come up with that one of those rotating blue jerseys. Very hard to see the numbers through those, but his shown through. So it is Arcangelo. He fires it deep, but misses his receiver.
Arcangelo's pass is incomplete.
Yeah, he had him there. That was 87. Chris Figler, wide receiver, got past the secondary there. Arcangelo let him just a bit too far, but it's nice to see, you know, Figler actually got the guy beat on that route, created some separation. Like to see Arcangelo complete that pass next time. Perhaps they'll go back to that route again.
Certainly, you must think that pressure from the white team's front 7 is getting to the head of Arcangelo a little bit. So Arcangelo with pressure in his face again, and he is wrapped up. That is number 63, John Durkin, again getting in the backfield, wrapping up the quarterback.
As we said earlier, Durkin was a big-time producer in a limited role last season. You know, he only played 4 games, but 2.5 tackles for loss and 1.5 sacks in a limited role. You know, if this guy can get a regular amount of reps on that defensive line, he's going to be, you know, he could become that 3-headed monster with Richard Nace and Kevin Goldsmith.
Yeah, or even a good goal line threat. You certainly know this Red Raider team is deep at that running back position, and it will appear that the red team will elect to try and kick this one. It is Billy Dean. This is an attempt of about 55 yards, and it is almost long enough, and it is good. Billy Dean on a 55-yarder, and he is pumped.
That's an impressive kick by the sophomore kicker. You know, 13 of 20 last season. Missed his first one, then came back, hit the second one. But a 55-yarder, that's a great thing to see. If I'm Coach Mack, I'm ecstatic on the sidelines. Kicker that can hit from 55 in the PSAC conference, that's something you got to love. You got to enjoy that.
Yeah, that is absolutely great. Who would have thought at this point one of the biggest highlights of the day would have been from the place kicker?
You never would have thought it, but nonetheless, it's important. The kicker can oftentimes be the biggest hero of the game in some of those close game situations. Great 55-yarder by Dean. Not sure if there's much more leg than that, but still a Division II kicker nailing 55-yarders, that's impressive.
It certainly gives you your options when you get into opposing territory. So Billy Dean inspiring a lot of confidence in the fans here and his coaches as well. It looks like Zapaticki will come back out, maybe for one of his last drives of the game. Zapaticki motions number 86, Pressler. Zapaticki takes the snap, and that will be a play action. Zapaticki out to Pressler. Pressler on the catch, lowers his shoulder, but he is stuffed at the 30-yard line, a gain of 5.
Yeah, Taylor Pressel is a fullback for the team. Might see him in a tight end role, but Zapaticki, nice mobility there, get out wide, deliver a nice ball to his fullback for a 5-yard gain on first down. Like we talked about, got to make these second downs more manageable. 2nd and 5, much better than a 2nd and 10 situation.
Certainly the case, and Zapaticki again on the snap. He drops back, surveys, finds his man across the middle. And that is number 4, Jordan Harrow with the short gain.
Harrow was a nice little slot receiver for the team last year, taking some of the slants and quick little out routes. He's going to look to take a bigger role with the team in the receiving corps in 2016, but there's his first catch of the day, hooking up with quarterback Ryan Zapaticki.
So 8:10 remaining here in this first quarter as the white team attempts to march down the field. Zapaticki alone in the backfield. Elects to change the play up. The white team looking over the sidelines for the call. Zapaticki now takes the snap, drops back, and elects to run. He's going to take it up to about the 39-yard line before the play is blown dead. So a nice little gain to move the chains there by Zapaticki.
Big takeaway from the first half of this spring game, quarterback mobility. We've seen it from all the quarterbacks, being able to evade a pass rush, gain a couple yards on the ground, give a team a first down. We've seen Zapaticki with his playmaking ability last season too, so not a big surprise from the quarterback.
Zapaticki again takes the snap out to the right side there. That is number 83, Eric Kearns on the catch. So another second and mid-range route, sets you up for those nice little manageable downs.
Yeah, nice out route from the transfer Kearns, something we're going to see a lot of from him this season. Especially we're seeing it here. Harrow, Kearns, Mike Brown with quarterback Zapaticki and Chippy Elliott in the backfield. A lot of playmakers on that Shippensburg offense.
Well, it appears we have a flag on the play. Let's
illegal formation on the offense. Not enough men on the line. 5-yard triple D. Repeat, first down.
So it is a legal formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage there by the white team. That play will bring up a 5-yard loss. 1st and 15, 7:25 remaining here in the second quarter.
It's even more important now, especially to get a couple yards here. You don't want to be looking at a 2nd and 15. Get a couple yards here, make the second down more manageable.
Zapaticki shouting commands out to his lineman. There's motion in the backfield, and that one will fake the handoff. Zapaticki elects to throw it out to McDermott. McDermott makes a couple men miss and gets down after about 5 yards to the 40-yard line. So back to the original line of scrimmage. It is 2nd and 10.
Couple yards there, second down, much more manageable now. Nice ball by Zapaticki to give McDermott a nice easy pass to catch out of the backfield. I just talked about quarterback mobility. Another big takeaway is the versatility of these running backs, both on the ground and through the air.
Zapaticki with running backs to his left and right takes the snap. Pressure in his face, he decides to run away and dumps it off to McDermott. A great heads-up play, but he steps out at the 48-yard line. So a play that originally looked like it was going to be wrapped up in the backfield instead turns into an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, nice improv play there by Zapaticki. He looked like he was about to run. Defender was right in his face, kind of just flicked it up, and nice grab by Colin McDermott.
Terrific heads-up play there. Everybody gets set on the line of scrimmage. It will be Pressler in motion. Zapaticki flings it out to McDermott again. McDermott finds himself being wrapped up at the 46-yard line. Sorry.
Red Raider faithful should get used to seeing a lot of these running back flat routes. They're going to it early and often here in the spring game, and you've seen it quite a few times now, whether it's Chippy Elliott or McDermott or Whitfield in the backfield. That's a nice thing to see. Zapaticki has plenty of options on offense, and it's something we're enjoying seeing here today.
Zapaticki Lines up in the backfield, motions Pressler once again. Pressler off to the left, fake handoff, play action. It will be swung out and just misses his intended receiver there. That was number 9, Mike Brown.
Yeah, Sheldon Mayer and Andrew Smith were the 2 leading receivers last year. Smith was a running back. Both are gone now. Mike Brown's seen a lot of targets here early and on, and Zapaticki just missed him on that one. Had to avoid the defender who was crashing on the ball. We got 2nd and 10 now here.
It's a tough grab to make, certainly, but Zapaticki has a short memory. Hands it off inside. That is McDermott once again. McDermott really showing off here in this drive.
Yeah, the offense went back to their bread and butter here, that read option. Zapaticki decided to let McDermott take it up the middle for a 5-yard gain.
So this Red Raider team we talked about made a lot of their hay in the passing game last year. It doesn't seem to be the case so much today.
Yeah, Zapaticki is still trying to work with chemistry with some of his receivers.
Zapaticki takes the snap out of the shotgun. Looks, he rolls out, avoids the defender, but it is blown dead. So that is a sack by number 89, Richard Nace. So Richard Nace, one of the underclassmen last year, making so many plays for the Red Raiders, returning here and getting a sack, even though might not have gotten it in a live game, getting his first sack here today.
Yeah, a quarterback with Zapaticki's mobility probably would have avoided that sack, but Red Raider faith will need to get used to hearing Nace's name early and often. 12 sacks in 11 games last season. Going to be a big-time producer yet again in 2016.
Plenty of accolades and records broken by Nace as we get ready to see the leg of Billy Dean once again, and he gives a boot that is caught at the 13-yard line by number 31. That is Teron Dunbar.
If there were any questions about Billy Dean's leg coming into this one, all those questions have been dispelled. Saw him kick a 55-yard field goal just a bit ago, and now a beautiful punt there to pin the offense inside the 15-yard line. Coach Mack's got to be excited with his special teams today.
A lot of credit got to be given to Dunbar there, too. That ball goes out of bounds. It could be pinned within their own 5, the red team. So great catch over the shoulder there by Dunbar. It looks easy on TV, but I can assure you, not so much in real life. .433 remaining. That is number 14, Simmons, taking the snap. Swings it out to the right side there, and it is a gain of 2 down to the 15.
Yeah, nice pass, 84. Once again, Dylan Smith-Brooks on the reception. Actually broke a tackle, almost broke a second one. Smith-Brooks, I believe, has really earned some playing time with his play today. A couple grabs and shown some nice vision and some nice athleticism from the wide receiver slot.
Certainly love to see what he can do with some space. It is Simmons in the shotgun, one running back to his right, running back out into the flat, and he fires across the middle. Cannot find his man. That is number 25, Kyle Schaefer, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Simmons missed Schaefer on that. That was a dangerous ball after it got past him. That ball could have been picked. Luckily enough for Simmons and the red team offense, there was no white player in the area of that football. So we'll see here what they can do. We got a 3rd and 8, and Simmons is going to have to air the ball out, try to get these 8 yards.
So that incomplete pass will stop the clock. 3:57 remaining. It is Simmons once again taking the snap. Simmons surveys his options. He is wrapped up hard. That is once again number 63, John Durkin, getting in on a sack. That is his 2nd and a half sack of the game.
From a defensive standpoint, I don't know if we've seen a bigger producer today than John Durkin. You know, he's definitely earned himself more playing time. He's really going to be that 3-headed monster up front with Richard Nace and Kevin Goldsmith.
Really a testament to the depth of this Raiders front 4. They got some young guys in some key positions that can really impact what goes on that line of scrimmage. As we know, the line of scrimmage play affects the outcome of the game.
Yeah, Shippensburg in 2016 is going to look to dominate that line. And with guys like Durkin, Nace, and Goldsmith, I don't see how they're not going to do that.
So another punt here by Harrow. Harrow with a nice spiral from his own end zone. That will take a favorable bounce, about down to the 49-yard line of the white team, or of the red team, rather. So the white team comes back out. Gonna see what they can do with 2 minutes 56 remaining here in the first half.
We'll see if Zapatiki comes out for an extended, they talk about the 2-minute drill. Maybe Zapatiki will get a little 3-minute drill here. And it is Zapatiki who's coming out for this drive.
So Zapatiki trying to put just a few more points on the board. Would imagine this is his last drive of the game. One running back to his right. There's a handoff to him. Is number 33, Cole Chipielli, getting another carry from Zapatiki. That is a gain of 11 down to the 38-yard line.
Another great run by Chipielli, driving right up through the middle from that read option. He's gonna be a big-time producer in 2016. Obviously, he went to Penn State out of high school. The guy's got talent, and we're seeing it here on full display. We already saw about a 20-some-yard touchdown scamper, and there's a lot to like about this kid.
Certainly a lot of promise from this Red Raider offense as the handoff is once again to Chipielli. Chipielli keeps driving his legs, finally taken down at 33-yard line. So a gain of 5 on that one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Zapatiki just going to continue to give the ball to Chipielli. If the front seven of the red team, the defense, they can't stop Chipielli, don't see why they would go away from him here.
Certainly no reason to, other than maybe to get some other guys some reps, but Chipielli looking to put some points on the board, but that clock is still running. 2 minutes now remaining. Zapatiki in the shotgun fires it across the middle, and that is still caught by Jordan Harrows. Jordan Harrows wrapping that one up with a man on him. There's a flag on the play, though, as we await the call from the official.
Nice grab by Harrow there. The defensive back, DJ Berkey, was all over him on that play. Berkey played in all 11 games last season, 48 tackles. Going to be another stalwart in the back.
Number 55 and 33 of the offense.
So 2 chop blocks on that play. 2 offensive players being called for that. That will
penalty. Repeat, second down.
Be a 15-yard penalty and a replay of the down. So Harrow's short catch negated by the penalty there, and the white team backing themselves up.
Want to avoid penalties as much as you can. That chop block's a big one, 15-yarders moving back. They were in a pretty good position, a little farther back now. Gives Zapatiki more room to operate. We'll see how they can come back after that chop block penalty.
Zapatiki, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Zapatiki on the handoff. He will hand it off to Chipielli. Chipielli with a man in his face. Cuts it back up, almost back to the original line of scrimmage, but it will be a loss of 1.
Another outside run there from Zapatiki to Chipielli. Got it out wide. Couldn't exactly do too much with it, but it's still nice to see it get out wide. Chipielli showing that he can run the ball through and wide.
And as you see, our Red Raiders also in action on the baseball diamond just to the left here of Seth Groves Stadium. Everyone's encouraged to go check out our Red Raider team, young team this year, but certainly scrappy. A lot of good things in the future for them. Sitting about 500 this year.
Yes, baseball team's got a nice offense. Got to shore up the pitching staff a little bit, but from an offensive standpoint, they can sure score some runs.
A lot of young talent, as we mentioned. It is Zapatiki once again in the shotgun. He finds his man, and that is number 33.
80.
Sorry, not 33. That is 83. Eric Kearns. Eric Kearns with his 2nd reception of the day.
Yeah, Kearns is one of those transfers that we talked is going to try to help shore up that wide receiving staff that lost 2 big guys go from last season. Great route there, great ball by Zapatiki for a first down. Makes up for that chop block that they had earlier. The white team continues their drive.
Kearns, a transfer from Seton Hill, started in 11 games his freshman year. Certainly shores up the receiving core of Shippensburg that lost so many key contributors last year. There's a timeout on the field. There's 50.4 seconds remaining in this first half. So just a short amount of time. The white team looking to just pound in a couple more before the half.
Yeah, Zapatiki's really delivering the ball well. Chiapelli's almost unstoppable on the ground. There's a lot of different ways the offense could go here. Kearns ran a nice route that last time. I can see why he started those games. Well, I can see why he started those games at Seton Hill. We'll see here what the offense comes with, but it looks like Billy Dean's out there.
So Billy Dean will get the kick. See if he can match that kick from earlier. This one is about a 43-yarder. The last one he hit from 55 had the range. He will be just a bit short on that one. Had the line, just not the range. So we certainly know he's capable of it, but that is not an easy kick to make.
Yeah, the distance that one he hit was 55 yards. You know, Coach Mack, it's nice to know that he can hit from 55. Wouldn't rely every single time. He saw a little short on that kick. But, you know, Dean's already made two big kicks today, so he's 2 for 4 on the day.
Gotta imagine making 2 from that distance would do nothing but inflate the confidence of Dean. So why the heck not? You know, spring game, you got 4th and long.
You got the spring. You just want to see what the guys can do. You know, after all these practices here in the spring here, you know, the spring ball, you want to see what they can do out on the field. This is their first real glimpse of a real game setting to see what these guys have to offer. So like you said, why the heck not? Why not give the guy a couple kicks?
See if the red team can muster up any offense here before the half. Currently trailing by 7 is the red team. That is a handoff up the middle. This is number 45, London Whitfield on the carry. Hit the hole and hit the hole hard. He is down for the first down to the 41.
Saw some nice explosion there, busting through the hole. You know, like we said, he fumbled earlier. I think he's over that fumble. He looks much more aggressive now, and that tentativeness afterwards, that's gone. That's long gone.
Whitfield again up the middle. He's wrapped up this time by number 95. That is Noah Braun getting in there, making problems for the front line of the red team.
Yeah, Braun's a nice little player, could do a lot for this front. You know, he'll be one of those guys that serves as another body on the defensive line, as Shippensburg is going to try to win the line of scrimmage every game. Braun's going to be one of those guys rotates in and out to help that cause.
Those guys up front making problems for the offensive line as the ball is handed off to Whitfield. Whitfield getting out wide, loses his edge, and slips down at the 41. So time runs off here, and we're down to the 49-yard line. That'll be it for the first half here in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Certainly a lot to see, a lot to take in. Plenty of guys getting their opportunities, Colby.
Yeah, a lot of big-time performers. You know, some guys like Chiapelli did really well. Dean with some nice kicks. The quarterbacks have showed nice mobility and really have delivered some nice balls, minus a few passes. But other than that, if I was Coach Mack, I'd be pretty happy with that first half. Defensive line played well. You know, big names from the first half. Cole Chiapelli, John Durkin, Billy Dean.
Yeah, definitely some younger guys stepping up. Saw a lot of great things out of the special teams. Saw a lot of great things out of the offense. You know, I think had Zapatiki had a little more time, they would have gotten into more of a rhythm. They certainly would have put up more points. So there's a break on the field here, and we get ready for a break up here as well. We'll be back right here. You are watching Shippensburg Spring Football on SUTV, Shippensburg's television station.
Just have them go over to the stand-up.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, you know, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm gonna get my law degree. Then I'm gonna come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's gonna happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Back here in the booth alongside my partner Colby Conway, I am Jameson
1, 2,
Barker.
3, 4,
Plenty
5,
of great things in that
6,
second
7,
or in
8,
that
9,
first
10.
half rather
1, 2,
that
3,
we
4,
saw
5, 6,
mainly
7,
in the
8, 9,
name
10.
coming by way at the running back position of Cole
1,
Chipielli.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah, the
5,
Penn State
6,
transfer had a
7,
great
8,
first
9,
half. We
10.
saw him for like a 20-yard touchdown scamper, and if he's going to do that all season, Red Raider Faithful is going to be extremely happy and very pleased that he decided to come to Shippensburg.
Yes, he
Put in my
certainly
po- put in
opened
my-
up a lot of options
Drop it, drop
for
it.
that offense. We also saw Zapatiki running the ball a lot.
Yeah, Zapatiki and all the other quarterbacks really showed off their mobility, delivered some nice balls, and it's definitely encouraging to see Chipielli running the ball, Zapatiki throwing the ball. A lot to be excited for.
A lot of contributions from the second team there, and we will also pitch it to our second team. Over to Matt and Hayden on the sidelines. They have Coach Mack. What do you got for us, guys?
All right, guys, I'm here with Coach Mack. Coach, as we're approaching the end of spring practice, how are you feeling about this team?
Good. They've had a great spring practice. They're working really hard. They're really gelling together as a family, and I'm real proud of them because day in, day out, they're working really hard, and we're getting better every day.
All right, and do you feel confident with Zapatiki's play, and can we expect anything different from him come the fall?
No, I mean Zap. He continues to get better, and we like what he's doing. He has a great handle on our offense, making great checks out there today, and throwing some good balls. So, Zap's a hard worker, and he's just going to get better and better as we go.
All right, with so many seniors departing from the defense, is there anyone in particular that you're expecting to step up and fill in any of the empty roles?
No, I want all 11 of them to step up. It's one of those things that as a defense, we need all 11 guys to run to the ball, be aggressive, know what they're doing, and be, playing as a family. So I want them all to step up.
All right, and how much of an impact do you think Cole Chipielli is going to have on the ground this fall?
Well, I think you saw a little bit of that today. Cole's having a pretty good game. He's a tough runner. He has some speed, and he brings another dimension to our offense, and we're excited about him.
All right. Thank you, Coach Mack. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Here in the booth, we thank you, Matt and Hayden, doing a terrific job as always. So we were talking about the running backs. Chipielli, certainly the biggest name, transferred from Penn State. But why don't we talk about some of those other guys like the Whitfields and the McDermotts?
Whitfield had a couple nice runs in the first half. He had that one fumble, and then that first carry afterwards, a little tentative. But after that, showed some nice vision, nice athleticism, exploded through the hole a couple times. Great real bounce-back performance after that fumble. And the other name was McDermott. We've seen McDermott carry the ball, but he's also made some nice catches out of the backfield. He's going to be yet another multi-dimensional running back that the Shippensburg offense can send out there.
The lines between the passing and running game continue to be blurred, and that is how Shippensburg makes their hay. So at the wide receiver position, we talked a lot about the loss of Kron Kent and Sheldon Mayer. How about we talk about some of those guys and how they stepped up today?
Yeah, Mike Brown's seen quite a few targets in the first half, so he's going to be one of those guys who's going to fill in admirably for Mayer and Kent. Another one, the transfer, Eric Kearns. We saw him on a nice little post dig route, made a nice grab, showed his athleticism, why he did start as a freshman at Seton Hill. And then we talked about him earlier, Jordan Harrow, a couple nice catches. One was negated due to penalty, but he showed the ability that he can work the slot and work across the middle.
Yeah, I was most impressed, I have to say, with Shippensburg's ability to catch the ball in traffic. We saw a lot of guys, or a lot of the quarterbacks thread the needle, get some balls in there real tight, and those guys came down with a lot of those catches. So on the defensive end, who impressed you the most today?
Definitely has to be John Durkin, defensive lineman. I mentioned him multiple times here. He's busted through the hole a lot, a couple nice plays in the backfield. Limited role last season, big-time performer here today, going to be a big-time performer in 2016.
Yeah, already getting his nose dirty. 2.5 sacks just in the first half. That is quite impressive. Also, Nace getting himself a sack there. Might not have been a sack had it been a live play, but still getting his nose or getting himself in the action there.
Yeah, the Red Raider Faithful's got to get used to hearing Nace's name. 12 sacks last season in only 11 games played. No surprise he got it here, already got his first sack of the season. Definitely, the defensive line is going to be a strength for the Shippensburg team this season.
Well, we will pitch it back down to Hayden, who has some more on the sidelines. Hayden?
This game. One person that really stood out to me personally was Cole Chipielli, the transfer from Penn State, the junior.
Well, there's a lot of hype surrounding this kid. I mean,
he's a very talented player. I mean, despite his size and everything, you would normally think with Cole Chipielli, with the size, him being an east to west runner, but he's actually more of a north-south runner. As you saw him leading most of the power game, and he scored a 25-yard touchdown earlier in the first quarter. So that's a big thing we're going to be expecting a lot from Cole Chipielli. I mean, I would not be surprised come the fall that if he's not the starter, he's going to have a lot of major playing time. I mean, he's got 2 years left here at Shippensburg. I mean, he's got a big ceiling to work with. So I'm very excited to see how Cole performs in the fall.
Tough physical running back, standing at 5'10", so not much in size, but he's got the weight on him, and he can just pound it right through the middle.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're not paying attention, I mean, he's going to take it right to your mouth. I mean, honestly, you saw with some of the plays. I mean, he gets hit, he keeps on going. It's almost like a rolling stone rolling down a hill. I mean, there's no way you're going to stop him. I mean, he's just going to keep on going until he decides when he's going to go down. I mean, he's a very physical runner. I mean, he's going to be a really key part to this offense in the fall.
And now another standout player for Shippensburg, the white team anyway, Billy Dean. And he hit a 55-yard field goal. There's players in the NFL that can't even kick field goals that far.
I mean, I don't think we're going to necessarily be calling for an NFL contract just yet, but his consistency with his kicking has been a key part to the team last year, and he's going to need to continue doing that throughout the rest of the fall. I mean, he's a big part of the offense. I mean, we don't want to see Ship kicking too many field goals, but he's a good guy to rely on, and I mean, hopefully we'll see more 50-yard field goals come in the fall.
And now Ryan Zapaticki, the only person with a yellow penny on. They don't want to hit him because Coach Mack would be mad, but what have you seen out of him so far that you really like?
I mean, he's been doing the same stuff he's been doing last year. He's been making very good touch throws. He's making good throws in traffic. I mean, he's making smart reads. He's been talking to me. He talked to me a couple weeks ago. He's talking about working on being a little bit more consistent with his reads, knowing when to check the ball down, knowing when to throw it down the field. So, I mean, he's you can see it within the game today that he's really trying to work on that. And quite honestly, with 27 touchdowns last year and 5 interceptions, it's kind of hard to match. But given his talent, I mean, I would not be surprised if he matches that or does better next year.
And Coach Mack really talked highly of him. I think he's going to do a great job next year in his senior season.
I mean, I think that with the key thing for a football team is to have a quarterback. So the key thing is to have a quarterback that can lead you through game to game and hopefully get you to the playoffs.
All right, well, that's what we saw in the first half. We'll hopefully see some better play in the second half as well. Back to you guys up top.
And Matt, well, you know, it's a great day here in Shippensburg. Beautiful, lots of things going on. We've talked about it multiple times. And one of those great things, got to be Zapaticki's play.
Yeah, great first half. Showed some great mobility, delivered some nice balls. He's looking to build upon his 2015 campaign, which saw him throw 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You know, we talked about his dual threat ability, averaged just under 270 yards combined through the air and on the ground last season.
Yeah, those numbers are very, very impressive. The sophomore looking to build on that year, a year where we just missed out on playoffs and just missed out on a PSAC East crown. Expectations got to be riding high this year.
Yeah, there's no reason this team can't capture the crown this year. You know, guys, Zapaticki, Chipielli, all the receivers they have, and especially those big-name defensive linemen and a strong secondary. Team's got a lot of potential here in 2016. As we talked about before, would like to see him improve on the road, though. 8-3 record. 2 of those losses did happen to come on the road.
Seth Grove Stadium is very friendly to the Raiders. 12 consecutive home wins here. They have not lost at home in 2 years. So road play going to be something they need to improve on, and we will take a break here and improve on what we need to improve on as well. So we'll be back here with second half action. Don't go anywhere. Get to see some of those other guys. You're watching SUTV Sports coverage of spring football.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do.
Yeah.
but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, finance.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Back here to Seth Grove Stadium alongside Colby Conway. I'm Jamison Barker. Second half action about to get underway here. About 2 minutes left in this break. Let's talk about what we would like to see in this second half, Colby.
I'd like to see the quarterbacks really throw to those wide receivers. We mentioned a lot about the plays they have made. I'd like to see them go to more of the receivers. You know, like we said, we lost some of those guys, and we need the guys to step in. Would like to see some more action of Harrow, Brown, and Kearns.
Yep, not necessarily sure who we are going to see out there in this second half. Expect some of the guys on the third and fourth, strings of the depth chart be getting some action. Maybe get some big plays. Maybe get, who knows? Who knows on a day like today?
Yeah, not quite sure, like you said, who we're going to see here in the second half. But it's just an important opportunity for those third and fourth string guys to show what they can do. Especially in practice. The starters in the second string are getting a lot of the reps. Some of these younger guys aren't really getting it. So this will be a chance for them to show what they can do in a game situation and what the team has moving forward when some of the starters do leave.
A lot of these guys are trying to make impressions on the coaching staff as well. Certainly expect them to come out as hard as they can within limits.
Right, yeah, you don't want to hurt anyone out there, but you want to show what you can do. Show the coaching staff that they brought you in here for a reason, High school, sometimes you can be the big fish in a little pond, come here to a school like Shippensburg, kind of blend in. This is a chance for some of those guys to stand out.
Yeah, you want to stand out just like Colby did back in high school gym class. Colby, a perennial champion in pickleball.
Yeah, I was decent. I'm not going to toot my own horn here. I know, Jamison, you thrived on the football field during your day in high school, but pickleball was my game.
Thrived might not exactly be the correct word for it, but I did play every once in a while. did play a little bit, We don't actually ride pine, as our sports show suggests. If you get a kick out of me and Colby, you should tune in. Our producer, Zach, as well. We will be on Sundays from 6 to 8, Shippensburg Radio, WSYC, talking sports. Nothing but barrel fire takes.
Yeah, we talk all sports. We're borderline experts in quite a few different things. So if you enjoy Jamison, myself, and you want to hear Zach on the air, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 88.7.
Nobody really does want to hear Zach on the air, but we bring him along anyway, as the red team ready to kick this second half off from the get-go. Snap is taken. That is Arcangelo. Arcangelo takes the ball for about a 2-yard, 3-yard gain there.
It's also important to know, keep in mind for the second half, there's going to be, the second half's going to have a running clock. So regardless of incompletion and stuff, the clock is going to continue to run here in the second half. Nice run there by the quarterback, showing off mobility.
So it is now 2nd and 7. That is Arcangelo on the snap. That is a draw play, delayed handoff up the middle, but does not fool the white team. White team will wrap him up at the original line of, or not the original line of scrimmage, sorry, the current line of scrimmage.
Looked like linebacker Stephen Pauling was in there to make that tackle. Showed a nice job, bust through the offensive line, wrap up the running back in the backfield.
Let's get hated.
So it brings up a quick third down. Arcangelo in the shotgun takes a low snap, but able to corral that one. Pressure in his face. He fires that one at the feet of, I believe, number 32, Richard Scheller.
Coming out of the half, that is a less than ideal play on third down. Bad snap, not a great throw from the quarterback. Something you're just going to want to scrap from your memory, and hopefully the next time out, produce a little better results than 3 yards.
That red team creating lots of pressure today. Jordan Harrow lines up to take the punt. From the zone 14, he catches it off a skip. Good job to corral that one, and he will punt that one down to about the 43-yard line of the white team.
Another low snap there. Something that's going to need to get addressed here from the coaching staff. Harrow got another favorable roll on that punt. So hopefully that can continue throughout the season, get those favorable bounces so we can pin the opponent just a little farther back.
I know back in the playing days, that was not uncommon for Jordan to have to catch one off the skip. Long snapping is not always the forte of high school football games. So he's certainly used to it. Did a good job to corral that one. And now Zapatiki back out on the field for the second half. Zapatiki takes the snap. Airs it out long. He's got a man a little bit underthrown, and there will be a flag on that one. Intended receiver there, number 83, Eric Kearns. Eric Kearns appeared to be interfered with there. Zapatiki had his man. Just underthrew him a little bit, but nonetheless drew the flag.
Yeah, not the best ball by Zapatiki on that deep route. But, you know, the end result's what matters. 15-yard on the pass interference. It's important to know here that there it is, Zapatiki again, targeting Eric Kearns. That's probably his 4th or 5th target of the game. Kearns is really looking like he's going to be that guy to step in to replace Sheldon Mayer, last year's leading receiver.
Also got to appreciate, Colby, you talked about how you wanted the Raiders to air the ball out a little more, and I got to say that had to be only the 3rd or 4th attempt today of over 20 yards.
Yeah, I'm guessing Zapatiki must have heard me saying I would like to see him throw to these receivers a little bit, and right out of the half, his first pass, right out to wide receiver Eric Kearns.
So with help to his left and his right, Zapatiki will fake the handoff. He does not find his man, rolls out to the right, fires it deep, has his man, but cannot hit 83 Eric Kearns once again.
I thought Zapatiki was going to take off running there for a couple yards. Instead, Kearns shook loose on a little improv route after Zapatiki had escaped from the pocket. Led him a little bit too far out of bounds. Would have been a very tough catch for Kearns to make.
Yes, certainly a tough throw as well to make on the run. Zapatiki almost getting it there. So a couple, Kearns right out of the half must have got fire lit under his buttocks by the coaching staff, and he is now been targeted twice. Snap taken by Zapatiki. The handoff is up the middle. He is stopped at about the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 2, so that will bring up 3rd and 8 for the Raiders.
Yeah, not an ideal second down play there. Didn't get too many yards. We're hoping for more. We'll have to see what they did on 3rd down. I see they took off. Tight end just came off the field for another receiver, so it looks like Zapatiki is going to air it out on 3rd and 9.
Zapatiki, 2 receivers to his left. Doesn't like what he sees. Calls out his commands to the offensive line. Sends number 82, Ty Rugg, in motion. Rugg now lining up in front of the running back to Zapatiki's left. Zapatiki will fake the handoff and fire it out to Jordan Harrow in the flats. That is a gain of about 12. Down to the 30. So a first down for the white team.
Nice play recognition by Jordan Harrow there. Get right to the sticks, make that out route. Zapatiki delivered a beautiful ball. Just nice play all the way around for the white team offense, and that's a first down for your Red Raiders.
Very good play to execute indeed. Zapatiki out of the shotgun again. That will be a handoff to McDermott. McDermott shakes and bakes a little bit in the backfield, but falls forward for about 4 yards rather.
Yeah, with Justin Pyle out with a shoulder injury, McDermott's filled in very nicely in that number 2 running back role. He's going to see quite a few reps this season alongside Pyle and Chipielli, but McDermott's shown his ability to run the ball, ability to catch the ball, and with the way this offense looks like it's going to run, running backs are going to be a very vital part of the offense.
Zapatiki trips to his right, nobody on his left side. Snap is taken. Flood to the right side here, and that appeared to be contact, but no call. The intended receiver on that was number 9, Mike Brown. So we will pitch it down to the sidelines with Hayden, we were pitch it down to the sidelines with another member of our team, Hayden Kemphart. Hayden?
Thanks, guys. As you may have noticed already, Justin Pyle did not suit up for this game. He has an apparent shoulder injury. Now, it doesn't seem to be serious, and he should be ready for the fall season. Back to you guys up top.
8:30 remaining. It is a running clock. The referees will blow that one dead. So that will be a sack Do not know who is credited with that sack, but it is a sack nonetheless. That will bring up 4th and long, and will also bring on Billy Dean for his 3rd attempt of the game, punting attempt.
See what kind of charge Billy Dean can put into this ball. Like to see him here pin inside the 20, ideally inside the 10-yard line. See what Billy Dean can do here in that powerful right leg.
He has been close to pinning the red team back multiple times here. So he takes the snap, and he gets some good hang time under that one. That one will fall at about the 10-yard line, and it will take a good bounce. Number 6 there, DJ Berkey, downing that one on the 4-yard line. So a fantastic punt from Billy Dean.
Yeah, Billy Dean got the bounce he wanted on that one. Instead of shooting into the end zone, ball kind of stayed kind of right where it landed and pinned the team right inside just inside the 5-yard line. Great little positioning by Billy Dean there. Yet another instance of where the coaching staff has got to be pleased with special teams, with Dean in particular.
So the red team backed up against the wall here. Come out, look to put up some more points on the board. Score 10-3. 7 minutes remaining.
The winner, please go down to the 50-yard line down on the track.
So taking the snap is the red team. Read option there is sniffed out, and sniffed out quick. That will be a loss of 2 on the play, but a flag. So we await that call. It will be a face mask on offense. So penalty is declined. White team electing not to take the yardage on that one. Figured it would be better for the loss of down. Team already backed up to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, on that first down run play, Coach Mack would have loved to see the team get some yards, kind of get themselves out of the hole that they're in, but obviously that didn't play out, and now they're even worse off.
So out of the I formation, it is play action. Unable to find his receiver there is number 14, Simmons.
Yeah, not a great throw there. Like the play call, backed up deep, play action, kind of keep the defense on their toes, see if they could beat him over the top, but it didn't turn out to be. And not a great throw from the quarterback, so now pinned inside their own at the 2-yard line on the 3rd and 12. Tough to imagine anything but a run here.
Yep, you want to do your best to give your punters some room. But it is spring, so like we said, what the heck? But it will be the conservative approach here. That is London Whitfield on the carry. He gets out of his own end zone, and that will bring on the punt team for red.
Not an impressive series there, but if you take a look from the defensive standpoint, that was a great defensive series right there. You know, stopped the run, didn't let them get many yards, pinned them back even farther than where they started. So we'll have to see here how, I believe that's Jordan Harrow punting, how he handles a less than regular spacing for this punt.
You got to give credit to the defenses today. The first team offenses and defenses giving each other trouble, but that second team defense really stepping up here. As that is a short punt fallen on there by number 23, Chavez Cheatham. So Cheatham was the one who fumbled the punt earlier, did not want to take any chances on that one, fell right forward on that one.
That was a smart play, though. You know, you saw it was a short punt. Rather than, hope for a better, hope for the bounce, it was smart of him just to pounce on that ball, lay right there, start at the 35. You know, if that ball kicks 15 yards back, starting at the 50-yard line. And that was smart. Like you said, he missed that one punt earlier, but that was a nice, smart play, a nice bounce-back play for Cheatham, who is regularly a defensive back.
So with 4 minutes remaining, running clock, the white team will come out onto the field. In now at quarterback, I believe it's Yoakum. He will take the snap, fake the throw, and proceed to run the ball. Only 3 yards on that carry.
I like that play call, though. The defense has to be aware of running back Cole Chipielli. If you saw when Chipielli started busting out to the right here, the defense kind of followed him a bit, which opened the running lane up through the middle. I'd like to see more of that, let Chipielli move, and the defense has to be aware of where he is at all times. So if you can get him moving, get the eyes on him, that opens up the room for the other guys on the field.
Chipielli been used as a weapon in the slot as well. Going to be on the receiving end of a lot of Yoakum or Zapatiki throws this year. Yoakum deciding to scramble on that one, finds a hole, crease up the center, and takes it. That is a gain of about 9 or 10 down to the 21. That will move the chains for the white team, and they are threatening.
Yeah, Chase Yoakum, we've seen his mobility all day today. Played in 4 games last year, 32 attempts, gained 218 yards, averaging just under 7 yards a carry. Those are nice numbers, you know. And as long as he's showing the mobility like this and he can continue to evade defenders, that's just another element to this team. Obviously, Zapatiki's probably going to start for this team come fall, but they got a very viable backup here in Yoakum.
So Zapatiki checking back in for Yoakum. Not sure if Yoakum was shaken up on that last play or not. Zapatiki takes the low snap, fires it out to the right side, and he finds Brown. Brown will go out at about the 8-yard line, and he will haul in his first catch of the day.
Yeah, Mike Brown caught 10 balls last year, 3 of which were touchdowns. Was actually tied for the second on the team, trailing Olden Sheldon Mayer's 9. Brown's one of those guys, as we mentioned numerous times here today. He's got to step into that role and be a viable pass-catching option for Zapatiki. It's a big thing, though, too. Brown's a tall receiver. And as long as, if you can get down the end zone, he could be a guy you throw some fades to, let him jump for it.
So Pressler in motion here. Zapatiki will hand the ball off up the middle to Chipielli. Chipielli wrapped up and taken down after a little more than about a yard on that one, down to the 12. So it is 3rd and short, Colby.
Chipielli was a big factor in the first half. I haven't seen as much of him here, which I can understand. Want to see Zapatiki throw the ball to some of these receivers. We got 3rd and 2 here, just above a minute 20 left, and we got a timeout on the field. I would imagine they run the ball when we come back out of this timeout.
Yeah, that running clock will create some issues as we move forward here, but down to 1:20 remaining. 1:20 remaining. So Zapatiki going to march the team back out here as they deliberate on the sidelines, try and figure out what the call is here. You got so many options, as we talked about. Situations like this going to be crucial throughout the year. There's 3rd and shorts, there's 4th and shorts. But with so many weapons and so many guys for the defense to be watching, you know, that just leaves so many options for this coaching staff on these sorts of situations.
And they already have a bunch of playmakers out there already. Justin Pyle's not even out there. That's another running back who's going to be another playmaker for this team. So they're playing without their second running back.
So Yoakum under center here, motion out to the left side. Yoakum will fake the handoff, turns around. There's a good block there, but Yoakum escapes one tackle, not the next, and he is wrapped up for a loss of 5.
By number 89, Richard Nace.
This is Richard Nace getting in there once again to disrupt.
At this point, it's never really a surprise if Nace gets in there and disrupts a play. The guy's just all over, and he's a beast on that defensive line. Loss of 4 yards there as the 3rd quarter comes to an end.
So that 3rd quarter, one of the quickest I've been a part of. But that will bring us to the 4th quarter. And the conclusion of this game. That running clock is certainly something to get used to.
Yeah, the fans, obviously, we won't see this come fall. We'll get your standard, rules when we get to the season. But for the spring game, we're going to see this running clock in the second half, move things along for the team as the teams now run to the other side of the field.
So a little bit of a preview here of the Red Raider football schedule next year. They will kick off their season on September 10th versus Gannon here at Shippensburg, followed by Clarion, East Stroudsburg. They open with 3 home games.
And that's a great sign based on last year's performances. The team was much better at home. East Stroudsburg's going to be a great game after this year's, 6 overtime performance?
Yep.
And that game against Kutztown is going to be a big one, too.
So that was about a 33-yard attempt by Billy Dean. He is all but automatic from there, but still pumped up nonetheless.
I believe that makes him 3 for 5 on the day.
I believe so. Yeah, first one was deflected, and the second one was just a bit short.
And then he had the 55-yarder, and now this one.
So highlighted and an extra point. So I think he's about 2 for 4 on the day there, Colby. So yeah, Red Raiders schedule. Looking at that once again, some very winnable games, all at home for the beginning stretch of the season. Then followed by a trip to Lock Haven. And then a trip to Westchester. The game versus Westchester last year was big. Westchester coming into the year ranked 17. Knocked off here in Shippensburg. So here is Arcangelo scrambling off the first play of the series. Gets about 15 yards. It was a great opening run. Great job, great vision there by Arcangelo to find that crease.
Starting to see a trend here, as we've mentioned quite a few times now. If you want to be a quarterback at Shippensburg, you got to be mobile. This team wants you to run they want a quarterback who is a threat to run the ball because that helps open up everything on offense. You know, Chiapelli's a great runner, but if your quarterback's not a threat to run, that read option doesn't work as well.
Arcangelo under center hands the ball off, and finding a lane is an unidentifiable player because he is wearing one of those pennies, but that is a 25-yard gain down to the 35 of the white team.
Yeah, tough to tell who that is, but it was a great run. You know, broke a couple tackles, showed some nice athleticism.
He's running out a little closer to the booth here. Maybe we'll be able to catch it on this time. As once again taking the snap is the red team. Is a screen play to number 43.
Antoine McCollum. We got 2 43s. It's a little tricky there. Or it was John Cheney was the other one. I was wrong.
You got about 50-50 chance, and I bet about 100% of the time I will choose the wrong one.
And right there I chose the wrong one. So that was not Antoine McCollum. It was John Cheney with the catch there.
That's statistics for you at their finest. Arcangelo, 2 men in the backfield with him. He will hand that one off. And wrapped up in the backfield, down at the 39-yard line.
It was Marcus Lomini. He's the one that had the big run, too.
Okay, well, congratulations, Marcus. Sorry we could not call your name on the air. But your numbers are very hard to read up here, and we can't afford spotters, so we do with what we got here at SUTV, and I'd like to think we do an okay job.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a great run. Talking about Lomini again. Good run there. That first one, the 25, 30-yarder. That one a little less impressive. Probably still winded from that long run.
Arcangelo rolls out to his right and finds his man. That is number 43. Number 43. That is John. Nope. That is Antoine McCollum. You can't get me on that one, Colby. I learned from your mistakes.
Nice little. He did a nice job there. You know, sitting on that route right near the sideline and keeping the feet in bounds to make that grab. And it looks like we got a guy injured on the field.
So down in the backfield
number
97. That is Curtis Matsko. Curtis Matsko appears to be in some pain there as he gets attention from the trainers.
Matsko appeared in 5 games last year, 7 total tackles, and 1.5 tackles for loss. So hopefully the injury is not too serious to the defensive lineman.
Matsko, part of that defensive line core that has been so deep and so devastating to opposing teams, losing only Kurt Walker, captain this year. Do not mean to minimize his impact. He was a great defensive end here for the Raiders.
Yeah, in 11 games, Walker had 6.5 tackles for loss and 4.5 sacks. His 4.5 sacks were actually 3rd on the team, trailing only Richard Nace and Kevin Goldsmith. But it looks like Matz goes up and he's jogging off the field, so it appears for now at least the injury isn't too serious. Likely get looked at by medical personnel on the sidelines.
Able to walk off on his own power. That is a good sign to see. Today we have a baseball game going on, as we mentioned. Try and get a score update for you here. It's currently at the top of the 4th, 0-0. Shippensburg taking on Kutztown. As Arcangelo on the screenplay. For a loss of 1.
Number 26, Marcus Lomini.
Marcus Lomini unable to break free there.
Seen the red team really give the ball to Lomini a lot here in this drive. You know, he had that nice run, got stopped the next time, and now they gave it to him on a little screen pass. It's just like we've seen with the red team, the white team, no matter who's quarterbacking, no matter who's in the backfield, the running backs are a vital part of this offense, and they need to be trusted with the ball. You know, Lomny hasn't put the ball on the ground yet, so hopefully he can continue that streak. But if you're going to be a running back here, hold on to the ball and be ready to be used on the ground and through the air.
Kutztown over on the baseball diamond. Kutztown currently has a no-hitter going through 7 innings in those, as it is a doubleheader day. So it is now the white team taking the snap. Is Yoakum. Yoakum fires out to the right side, just timing a little off there with Mike Brown.
Chase Yoakum's pass is incomplete, intended for number 9, Mike Brown.
Another target from Mike Brown, though. He's had his fair share of work today. Quarterbacks are really looking to him. I think the takeaway, the two guys that look like to be stepping into the, the big-time receiver role has got to be Mike Brown and Eric Kearns. They're getting the majority of the targets. We talked about Jordan Harrow's gotten 2 or 3 targets, but it's really been Brown and Kearns have taken over the lion's share of work at receiver.
Yes, Brian and Kern creating some great separation out there. Will be sprung one of these times, I'm sure. Handoff to the left side. That is number 20, Colin McDermott on the carry. He gets about 4 or 5 on that one. And that will bring up about a 3rd and 4.
McDermott's had a nice game to date, He's run the ball well, made some nice catches out of the backfield. If I'm Coach Mack, I'm very pleased with his performance today. You already have Chipielli and you got Justin Pyle, but McDermott's really showing that he has the ability to be a very good running back for this team as early as 2016.
So the running clock is now down to 9 minutes and 20 seconds. White team working against that. As Yoakum is almost wrapped up and then finally taken down there by number 47. That is Dakota Thompson, wrapped up there.
Yeah, Richard Nace almost had about his 3rd sack of the game there, was unable to bring Yoakum down. Yoakum's mobility was really in display there. Richard Nace, probably one of the better D linemen in the PSAC conference, and Yoakum was able to get away from him. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get away from Dakota Thompson, so now they're looking at a 4th and, I believe it's a 4th and 10.
Yes, that sack will set the red team back just a tad, and they elect to punt, so we will get a little more Billy Dean. Billy Dean lines up. He takes the snap. It is a good one. Spirals off of his leg, and that is a heck of a punt. That will be down at the 18-yard line. So
Fans, do your part in helping to maintain.
Yeah, Billy Dean last year had a 37-yard average on punts. That one was well beyond 37 yards, let me tell you. Longest punt of the year was 62 last year. I don't see why he couldn't set a new career long on a punt in 2016. We've seen his leg today.
Yeah, you see when the snap gets there and he has the time to go through those motions like he so often has, he's able to get some really good hang time and a really good spiral coming off of his foot. So pinning the red team back within their own 20 after punting that one from about inside his own 30. So a great punt, and the red team will get to work. It's a handoff up the middle. That is number 45, London Whitfield, taking that one up the middle. He is wrapped up after about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, getting those positive yards on first down is very important to a drive, especially on your first drive or first series right there. You don't want to go 3 and out. You definitely don't want to go 3 and out, especially pinned this far back. So see what they can do here, 2nd and 6.
Still a close game. I know it is just an exhibition, but these guys are competitors and they would like to get the win for their respective team. All alone in the backfield is number 14. That is Simmons.
One thing for sure, Shippensburg's going to win this game.
It's a fantastic analysis from my cohort there. This is about a 2-yard pass completed.
Pass is complete to number 45, London
down
Whitfield.
to about the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and short. London Whitfield on that catch.
Another instance of just the team giving the ball to the running backs, whether it's on the ground or through the pass. The quarterbacks are very committed to giving the ball to the running back, and as long as they're being productive with those touches, there's no reason to stop.
So Simmons motions Whitfield to his right, takes the snap, has time, and he has a man. Oh, absolutely taken out on that play is number 37. That is Kyle Haynes. Haynes had rights to that ball, and he was all but tackled before the ball got there. So no doubt in my mind that this will be a 15-yard pass interference.
Nice ball by Simmons there. You know, if the guy wasn't, if he wasn't tackled in the air, he definitely probably would have brought that ball in for a nice gain. I was just about to say too, I'd really like to see Simmons, push the ball down the field more. Seeing a lot of dinking and dunking from him, but it was nice to see the southpaw really try to drive the ball down the field there. Made a nice throw. Probably would have got hauled in if it weren't for, as you said, the guy getting tackled in midair.
That had to be one of the better balls that we have seen that has been thrown deep today. Simmons has time once again, finds his man, that is Whitfield. Whitfield wrapped up after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. So 5:10 remaining, that brings up a second down.
Clock continues to dwindle here in the second half, and it looks like the red team's going to make a push, try to get in the end zone one more time. We'll see if they can do it quick, see if they can actually come back and either tie this game up or take the lead.
Shippensburg is a team that tends to put a lot of points up on the board, but historically, spring games have not followed suit. And there is a play action there by Simmons. Simmons, another good ball, just can't get it there. To number 87?
For number 87, Chris
that is,
Figler.
yes, that is 87. That is Chris Figler.
I'm not sure if defensive back Matt Thorne got a hand on that ball. Maybe he did tip it and disrupted it a little bit, but I thought Figler had a chance to bring that one in. Another great ball by Simmons, though.
So time down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Simmons takes a snap. He rolls out to his left side. Simmons, a lefty, throws it, and that is another incomplete pass to Figler.
Not the best of balls there by Simmons. We just raved about his arm really driving the ball down the field there past 2 throws, but that one, he was on the run, just missed his guy right there. Just something you like to see him complete that ball, especially with that being 3rd down.
So we're inside of 4 minutes here as Harrow lines up for another punt today. And pending any theatrics here by the red team, we might get to see another score. But if not, it looks like this score might hold. White team currently up 10. So Harrow gets a nice punt off of his foot. That'll get down to about, that'll take a nice bounce. And not able to be covered by his teammates. And that'll go into the end zone for a touchback. So the red team marches out onto the field with 3:10 and counting remaining. They will start from the 20-yard line.
Another favorable bounce for Harrow there. Like to see the runners get down there and really kind of sit at the goal line, try to stop that ball from going in there. Had a chance to pin them inside the 5-yard line, perhaps even at the 1-yard line. Ultimately, it didn't play out that way, so the white team will get the ball at the 20-yard line, and it looks like Zapaticki's back under center.
So Zapaticki going to get the last drive of the game. He sets and finds his man. That is Kern. So Kern gets a 11-yard catch on the first play of the game, or first play of this series.
The Seton Hill transfer's having a nice spring game. His nice Shippensburg debut, if you must. He had a very couple nice catches here, another good one there, and it looks like they're going to really drive the ball down the field, try to get in the end zone one more time.
Zapaticki, unable to find anybody with pressure in his face, fires that one away. But as we mentioned, time will continue to tick off. We're now down to 2 minutes, 10 seconds and counting. I would imagine the coaches wanted to get Zapaticki in a situation like this in order to get him in a 2-minute drill situation.
Yeah, in a regular game, that's a savvy move right there by Zapaticki. Throw the ball away, avoid the sack. But like we talked about earlier, where you want that 2-minute drill, you want to get as much game situation as you can here in the spring game. So why not run Zapaticki back out there for a modified 2-minute drill?
So on the bubble screen, it is Mike Brown. Mike Brown picking up about 6 on that one. And that will bring up 4th and 3.
And they're going to go for it. Can't blame him here.
Actually, 3rd and 3. I was a little confused as to the down, but I didn't want to sound stupid. And there is a timeout on the field.
Timeout.
And the clock continues to run.
Now, I know from PIAA rules, having gotten mercy ruled plenty of times my senior year in football, that After timeouts, I'm fairly certain they stopped the clock, but that is not the case here today, wanting to keep everybody healthy. And it appears that this will be just about maybe one more play before the end of this game. So white team hurrying themselves up, get out there for two more plays. Imagine Zapatiki will air this out, and that is off to number 33. That is Chipielli. So Chipielli picking up another catch here, adding to his already impressive day for the Raiders.
Yeah, nice showing by Chipielli here. You know, he looks good coming off that torn ACL last year, I believe it was, that gave him the medical red shirt.
So Zapatiki with trips to his right has a tight end on his left side. His snap is taken, but that play is blown dead, and that will most likely take us to the end of this one. So the end of this game, the end of the spring game for Shippensburg, it will be 13 white, 3 to red. We will see if they elect to end this game on a penalty, and they do. So the score has gone final here in Shippensburg. 13 for the white team, 3 for the red team. The white team being the starting offense, the red team being the starting defense, and a hodgepodge of the two. So an absolutely great showing here today. Great crowd on a beautiful day here in Shippensburg. Colby, what more could you ask for?
There's not much more you could ask for. You know, a lot of the position battles really played out today, and you saw some of these guys who could be some of the performers. We had talked about wide receivers. We saw Eric Kearns, and we saw Mike Brown, and we saw Jordan Harrow. Running back, we saw just what Chipielli can provide in this offense. Quarterbacks, we know Zapatiki's a starter, but he displayed why he is a dual-threat quarterback.
Yeah, Shippensburg tentative to air the ball out here today, but certainly that ground game is going to give fits to opposing teams. I mean, the quarterbacks, the running backs, everybody out there is just able to make things happen. And not only that, but the addition of the screen game is also pretty much just like running it.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of read option in 2016. Zapatiki and Chipielli are two contributors who are definitely going to pick up a lot of yards on the ground. And the success of the read option is really going to open up some play action passes and really deliver the ball downfield to those receivers we've mentioned.
I would imagine Durkin, the defensive lineman who came up with 2.5 sacks today, his position and playing time will be reevaluated. He had an absolutely great day. Also, Richard Nace had a great day for the defense. Defense definitely had a strong showing. Offense able to put 13 points up on the board, though, and that is enough to finish this one. We thank you for joining us on SUTV's production of spring football. For my partner, Colby Conway, I'm Jamison Barker. We look forward to seeing you in the fall, and you have been watching SUTV Sports.